Hey everybody, Josh Siertzen of World Alternative Media here, and I'm here at the Forks in Winnipeg, Canada for Canada's 150th birthday, and I'm here to be a party pooper as per usual because we are going to bring anarchy to the streets, and not in the sense that you think. We're going to ask people today, do you think taxation is theft? People in Canada are incredibly highly taxed. They are extorted. It is nothing more than robbery, nothing less. And my job today is to try and bring a bit of the message of voluntarism to the streets. We have the carbon tax, we have massive income taxes, and I think it's time that we start spreading this word out to as many people as we possibly can. So let's see what people say. All right, so today we are asking people here on Canada Day, do you think taxation is theft?
No, I don't think so.
Why don't you feel taxation is theft?
Because I feel that it's a right of citizens it's the responsibility of citizens to uphold society, and part of that is to give taxes to the government.
Do you think taxation is theft? Anyone? Do you think taxation is theft?
We're not going to answer any questions
come on. So today we're asking people, do you think taxation is theft?
No.
And why is that?
Our taxes have to pay for all this nice country that we live in.
So if you didn't pay taxes, what do you think would happen?
I'd be living in a tent by the Red River.
Do you think taxation is theft?
No.
Why not?
I think that in general we all need to give for the good of
the greater good of the greater number? The greater good of the greater number, that collectivist mantra, we've heard it time and time again, and unfortunately people are kind of brainwashed into that. They're brought up thinking that it's all right for a collective herd of people, 51% to take over the 49%, and you have no say, folks. They're born into the social contract, which mysteriously none of us have actually ever seen. We'll keep asking some questions. Hey Gandhi, buddy old pal, do you think taxation is theft?
I didn't even notice it, that's why I had to say.
Was that a yes? I think he said yes. Okay, today we are asking people here on Canada Day, do you think taxation is theft?
I think it's necessary for some things. I think it's overtaxed a little bit, but some things are necessary to have taxes for.
I agree with that. I mean, things like public roads and schools and whatnot. I mean, yeah, your community should support yourself.
So you're talking about the social contract. That's basically what we're born into. But if you weren't to pay taxes, would you not go to jail? I mean, doesn't that institute theft regardless of what it's used for?
Yeah, but that's the current law system now. Our judicial system is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but that doesn't mean that we're not living in some wild dictatorship where people's human rights are taken from them.
So taking, say, half of someone's paycheck isn't an oppression in some way. It isn't attacking their human rights?
The thing is people that have to pay half their paycheck are the people that are making a large sum of money. That's why that tax bracket is broken into percentages that it is because if you make more money, well, you contribute more money.
I guess that's true to some standards, but maybe not when you have a small business or something.
No, and I agree. And small business is just very tough, and especially if your idea is really to maintain a small business. With large, when you're trying to provide a large product that it will produce to the masses, it's different. But you're right. Like a local bakery or something like that, it's tough, and that's why you see a lot of turnover. And like I said, I mean, things aren't perfect, but unfortunately, as the system we live in, I don't think it's theft per se. But there is maybe at times an overtaxation, yes.
Yeah, well, we thank you for talking with us. Of course, we're looking at the carbon tax being implemented in Canada.
I get what you're saying there, and I understand that carbon tax too. And I guess since we're on here, my view on that is, yes, we need to start getting away from fossil fuels and whatnot, and so the carbon tax is there for that purpose. It's sort of there for that purpose because those are the businesses that make the most money.
If we just add up not just the income tax, but the carbon tax, but the PST, the GST, all of these taxes together, it does actually add up to about 50% of your money goes to taxes when you pay for things at the store.
You're right, but next time you're in a car accident and you have to have serious surgery, well, you don't have a serious bill after.
The thing about Canadian healthcare is that, as a matter of fact, it actually monopolizes the major corporations that are taking in taxpayer money, and it causes the price to go up. So that inflation begets more inflation, and it just causes a perpetual issue where the more you pay towards it, the more expensive it gets, and the more money they take. Do you think taxation is theft?
No,
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think if it's
I only have a bachelor's degree.
depends on if it's crazy high tax, then maybe, but in general, no.
So if like a collective of people said they have a really good idea and they're going to fund some stuff and you have to pay and you have no choice because of some social contract, let's put it that way, would that not be theft?
Depending on what it was, depending on what it was going towards, and if I had enough information about it.
I was kind of expecting this to happen. I mean, this is Canada. People are glassy-eyed with the religion of statism. They love the chains. They revere the chains that hold them down and extort them, because taxation is more than theft. It's extortion, and you can't just opt out. Therefore, it is theft. If you are forced by a collective to pay for something that you don't want, that is extortion. On Canada Day, the most statist religious holiday of the year, where people love to celebrate this red coat nation, people are going to jump to the chance to say that taxation is not theft, but it is theft, and we're going to continue to ask people here today, because obviously we got a lot of work to do. Canada is one of the most collective, almost communistic nations on the planet, and we got a lot of educating to do, obviously. So today we're asking people, do you think taxation is theft?
Well, we have to pay for infrastructure and stuff, so I don't think it's theft. Depending on what it's based on, right? Like, as a status person, we don't have to pay tax on reserve, but here in the city we do.
So regardless of what it's paying for, though, isn't it still theft when, if you try to opt out, you go to jail?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, but we have to pay for everything. Where do people think that, you know, the forks came from? Where do they think the roads come from? Where do they think schools come from? Right? Who's going to pay for that?
Okay, that's a social contract. So, but no one actually agrees to do it. But we use this money to pay for things. But it's still, is it not still theft when you don't agree to pay for certain things, but it's taken off your paycheck?
Well, I work for the public government, the federal government, and Phoenix, I don't know if you've heard about that, the pay system. I haven't been paid in over a year. That's theft. The government is not getting charged any other small business. If you didn't pay your employee, you'd be in trouble, right? Go to jail. You know, Trudeau was out celebrating 150 today. I didn't see him in jail. I'm still waiting for my paycheck.
Are we starting, instead of the Hillary for prison, are we starting a Justin for prison?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Today we're asking people, do you think taxation is theft?
Yes.
I don't think so, because it gets us our health care. Even if it's not very great health care, it's still free health care, and I think that's important.
Okay, regardless of being able to get health care out of it, is it still not theft when you have no choice but to pay for it?
That's a good point. I've never really thought of it before. But
well, that's the common answer that we get. Most people haven't thought of it because we're kind of born into it, right?
Yeah.
And we don't think about it because it's just a normal part of life. But when you get right down to the basics, if you opt out of paying taxes, you go to jail.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah.
Do you think taxation is theft?
Yes, kind of.
Yeah.
Because people go out and then they just have to pay extra tax, like parking and stuff like that.
Yeah, you don't have any say. Well, I'm glad that you get it. You're going to be a smart kid. So today we're asking people, do you think taxation is theft?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you say yes. So we finally found someone, folks. Why do you think it's theft?
Let her speak.
He's American.
I'm American, so we deal with a lot of taxes. I get health insurance.
Similar to us.
Yeah, pretty much everything. City, state, federal taxes, all three of them. So if they want to build on the roads, they're just taxes
But
out
they
of our
put the money in the
paychecks.
wrong spots. So.
Yeah, and it's hard to build an income when you're constantly paying almost half of your money to taxes. That's almost slavery in some ways, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. I gross like they take my checks. I'll end up making for the 2 checks that I get, because I get paid bi-weekly. The taxes that they take out basically covers a full check.
Unbelievable. Well, thank you very much for talking with us today.
Thank you.
So there we have it. Most people said that it is not theft, but let's get this straight. The free market does everything much better than the government. The government, what they provide is inefficient. It monopolizes. It creates these monopolies that so many on the left want to get rid of. The problem is individual liberty isn't taken into account. Individualism isn't taken into account. Instead, we're born into a system where we just expect to be provided for under the theft of the populace, the vast theft of the populace. Small business owners are taxed to death, causing the big monopolies to rise up and take over. And at the same time, we have these massive government bureaucracies that are wholly inefficient, that create a whole bunch of problem, reaction, solution, repeat. And we need to keep educating people about this, because people have to understand they're a free human being, not a part of some big collective. They shouldn't be forced into this massive greater good of the greater number mantra where they have no choice what to do with their life, because in the end, the only person you have control over is yourself. And without that, what's the point? Without liberty comes tyranny, and that's what we are witnessing today, and it's encroaching on us more and more by the day. Every single day we have more government control, more collectivism, and we have these carbon taxes in Canada, and the fact of the matter is we aren't being loud enough. We are just bending over. We're laying down apathetic, and as long as we lay down apathetic, they continue to take away more and more of our liberties until we eventually turn out like Venezuela, and it's happening. The monetary system is controlling us and extorting us and pushing us into debt servitude. The regulatory system, the government, is shoving us into servitude. And what are we doing about it? Well, absolutely nothing. Well, happy 150th birthday, Canada. I hope you're happy. Do you like what you see here at WHAM? Well, make sure to check the links below. GoFundMe, Patreon. We can't do it without you. Any donation is very much appreciated, especially as we are so vastly demonetized and censored by YouTube. You can also see our Bitcoin address in the description and the comments, as well as on the screen for you to scan, if you please. And also find us on Steemit.com. That's Steemit.com, the future of social media, where you get paid to blog via cryptocurrencies. You can find me at Josh Sigurdsson. So we hope to see you there. But until next time, this is Josh Sigurdsson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.